Hello, my dear students. Welcome to biology class. In today's class, we are going to see about some microorganisms. So, first, we are going to see about fungi. Before that, have you remembered the previous class? We have seen already about virus and bacteria. I hope you have watched the video. Now, in today's class, you are going to see about fungi. Fungi is a group of eukaryotic organism. What is eukaryotic organism? Eukaryotic. Eu means true. Karyotic. Karyotes means nucleus. So here nucleus is present. It has true nucleus. That is, it has well defined nucleus. So fungi has well defined nucleus. That means nucleus is present in fungi. Have you remembered already I told about prokaryotic? So we have two types of organisms, prokaryotic and eukaryotic. Prokaryotic means nucleus is not developed properly. But here eukaryotic means nucleus is developed. So that is called eukaryotic. So fungi is coming under the group eukaryotic organism. It lacks chlorophyll. Lacks chlorophyll means it has no chlorophyll. Chlorophyll, have you remembered about chlorophyll? The plant leaf has chlorophyll, green pigment. That's what leaves are green in color. With the help of the chlorophyll, water, carbon dioxide, sunlight, plants prepare their own food. This process is called photosynthesis. You have learnt already in the primary classes itself. So now here fungi is also under the group of plants. So fungi has no chlorophyll. They grow in dark environments. There is no light. So it has no chlorophyll. They may be either unicellular or multicellular. Unicellular means uni means single cell. Unicellular means single cell. Uni means one, single. So it has some fungi has only one cell. The example for unicellular fungi is yeast. Multicellular means it has many cells. So the example for multicellular fungi is penicillium. Penicillium. The fungi name is penicillium. From this fungi only the medicine penicillin is extracted from it. Okay, have you understood, students? The next, this type of fungi we can see in all the places, all kinds of habitat. It can grow in all kinds of habitats. Habitat means living place. So fungi are found in all the kinds of habitats. The kingdom of fungi is fungi. So these microorganisms, plants, animals are grouped under some classes, classifications. So here this that is called kingdom. Is fungi is under the kingdom fungi. Then the study of fungi is called mycology. What is the study of fungi? The study of fungi is called mycology. Some fungi are macroscopic. Already we have learnt about microscopic. Micro means small. So we are unable to see through our naked eyes. We can see only with the help of microscope. That is microscopic. Then what is macroscopic? Macroscopic means somewhat bigger in size. The fungi is unicellular, multicellular, that and all microorganisms. So we can see under the microscope only. But some fungi are macroscopic. So example for macroscopic fungi is mushroom. Have you seen mushroom? We can we can make many varieties of dishes using mushroom. So we have tasted mushroom also, so that we are able to see mushroom. So this is coming under macroscopic fungi. 70,000 species of fungi are in this world. 70,000 kinds of fungi are living in the world. So this is the introduction about fungi. Now here we have seen some examples now for fungi, yeast, penicillium, mushroom. So among this we are going to see about yeast in detail. Cell structure of yeast we are going to see now. So yeast are found in the air, the atmosphere. Atmosphere means air. Yeast are found in soil and on plants, plant surfaces, and it is found more in sugar content medium, such as flower nectar and fruits. There we can see yeast abundantly. The cell is ovoid. Ovoid shape means egg-like shape, oval shape. It is containing cell wall and a nucleus. Already we have learned when in the introduction of fungi, yeast is an example for unicellular. So it has only one cell. One cell contains cytoplasm and nucleus. So here in this cell wall is present because it comes under the plant group. The outer membrane is called cell wall, and it has nucleus because it is eukaryotic organism. So well defined nucleus is present. So it has cell wall and nucleus. Then the cytoplasm is granular means small particles. It consists of small particles. So cytoplasm, nucleus is inside the cell. Cytoplasm is surrounded. Cytoplasm nucleus is surrounded by the cytoplasm. So the cytoplasm has many small particles, vacuoles, other organelles, mitochondria, glycogen, vacuoles, like that many organelles we have studied in previous classes now about cell, plant cell, animal cell and all we have learned now, that are called what and all present inside the cell, mitochondria, ribosomes, vacuoles. These are all called organelles. Likewise, yes, few organelles are present, not all the organelles, few organelles, vacuoles, glycogen, oil globules, like that some small particles are present in the cytoplasm. Yeast aids in fermentation with the help of the enzyme zymase. The enzyme name is zymase. The enzyme helps to break the bigger particles into smaller particles. Break down the bigger particles into smaller particles. That's what it's a chemical process. Fermentation is a chemical process. So in this chemical process, yeast also helps to break down the complex things, complex particles, bigger particles into smaller particles, and it is used to prepare alcohol. Fermentation means this process is helpful for preparing alcohol. So yeast also is helpful in the preparation of alcohol. Yeast is helpful in the process fermentation. So yeast aids in fermentation with the enzyme called zymase. Then it respires anaerobically. In the previous video itself, I explained about aerobic and anaerobic respiration. Have you remembered, children? Anaerobic means it does not need oxygen to breathe. So here this yeast does not need oxygen to breathe. So it respires anaerobically. Then it reproduces by budding. See here, this yeast cell has one small bud and it reproduces, it divides into another. It develops another one yeast cell. So this is called budding. So it reproduces by budding. Now see the structure of yeast. The outer membrane is cell membrane, that is cell wall. Then inside the cell wall, vacuole is present. Vacuole means the space containing air or liquid, okay, that is called vacuole. Cytoplasm, the nucleus, the dark brown color is given now inside, that is called nucleus. Then food granule, food for when the food is digested inside, food is stored inside this, so that is called food granule. So it's a single cell. The single cell consists of cytoplasm and nucleus. In the cytoplasm, many granules, food granule, vacuole, likewise some oil globules, glycogen, These are all present in the cytoplasm. Oil globules means some oil drops. Then glycogen means it stores starch, it stores glucose. So these type of organelles are present in the cytoplasm. This is the structure of yeast. Then next we are going to see about algae. Algae also is a microorganism, but it is macroorganism also. It is a very simple plant like eukaryotic organism. Okay. Algae, algae is a very simple plant like eukaryotic organism. It is also coming under the group eukaryotic. Then that means it has well defined nucleus. They are rich in chlorophyll. When I told about fungi, what I told, it lacks chlorophyll, it has no chlorophyll. But here algae has chlorophyll. If it has chlorophyll, then it should be in green in color. If the chlorophyll is present in it, it can prepare its own food because it comes under the group plant, no? So it has chlorophyll, so it can prepare its own food. That's what algae is autotrophic. Autotrophic means it does not depend on others for food. It prepares its own food. That is called auto. Auto means self. Autotrophic means it prepares its own food. So with the help of sunlight, chlorophyll, carbon dioxide, water, it prepares its own food and found in surface of lakes and ponds. Have you seen in the rivers, lakes, ponds, somewhat thin film of thin film layer, green color layer you have seen, no? That is called algae. So that we called it as grass of water. Grass of water. See this picture now. See, have you seen like this in some seas also we can see rivers, ponds. So this is called algae. We are able to see this. It's a plant, no? We are able to see this. So this can found in moist habitats, moist places, wet places. So we are found in wet places. Then the study of algae is called alcology or phycology. So what is the study of algae? Alcology or phycology. What is the size of the algae? Algae 1 micron to 50 meter. 1 micron, micron is micrometer, that we are unable to see. 50-meter size means we are able to see. So the size is 1 micron to 50 meter. Size varies from 1 micron to 50 meter. Then algae may be unicellular or multicellular. Unicellular means we are unable to see. That's what we called it as microscopic. So example, the best example for unicellular algae is Chlamydomonas. Chlamydomonas. Then the example for multicellular, that is macroscopic algae, is Sargassum. Sargassum. Now, Sargassum means it is like a grass. Okay, so we are able to see. So this type of algae we are able to see. Unicellular algae shows different shapes. It may be spherical, rod, spindle. This is the spindle shape. See here, spindle shape. Spindle shape algae is there. Then you see here, see in this picture, many different shapes of algae are given. Rod shape, like wire like algae, thread like structure, rod shape, spherical shape, spindle shape. Likewise, many different shapes of algae are there. Unicellular algae shows shapes like spherical, rod, and spindle shape. But multicellular algae means multicellular algae we are able to see, no, that is in the form of filaments and branches. Filaments means I told us sargassum is example for multicellular algae, no, that we are able to see it's like a grass. Filament means like wire, no, thread. Likewise, like a tape like structure. So that is called multicellular algae. Have you understood about algae? Now we are going to see about Chlamydomonas. This is the Type of algae, unicellular algae. So now we will study about unicellular algae. Example for unicellular algae is Chlamydomonas. So we are going to see about Chlamydomonas in detail. Multicellular algae we will see in the next chapter. Okay. Now we will see about Chlamydomonas. Chlamydomonas is a simple unicellular motile freshwater algae. It lives in freshwater only, unicellular. Already I told this is an example for unicellular Chlamydomonas. So it's only once. It has only one cell. Motile means it can move from one place to other place. They are oval in shape, spherical shape, or pear shape. Pear shape means this is a pear. Have you eaten this pear? Have you seen in the fruit shop? It's a pear. So likewise, this Chlamydomonas is also pear shape. See here, anterior and posterior. And anterior end means front end. Posterior means back end. See the anterior end, it's narrow. Posterior backside is broad. So this is the structure of the pear. Likewise, Chlamydomonas also has narrow front end and broad back end. Okay. So this is the structure of Chlamydomonas. The cell is surrounded by a thin and firm cell made up of cellulose. It's a cell wall because it comes under plant, no? So the outer layer is called cell wall. It is made up of cellulose. Then the cell contains dark nucleus lying inside the cavity of the cup-shaped chloroplast. Now you see the picture of the Chlamydomonas. See here, cytoplasm. Then the chloroplast, the green color cup-shaped given, no? The cavity of the cup-shaped. The cup-shaped is called chloroplast. So, the cell contains nucleus. That nucleus is lying inside the cavity of the cup-shaped chloroplast. Nucleus is inside the cavity. The cavity means a gap, a space between the space formed in the chloroplast, no? That is called cup shaped space is there, no? There only nucleus is present. Now where is nucleus? The violet color represents nucleus. So nucleus is present inside the cavity of the cup shaped chloroplast. Then the red color thing denotes mitochondria. Mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. So that is the cell organelle. Mitochondria is present. Then pyrenoid is present. Pyrenoid, it stores food. Then starch grain also, it's a small structure. It also stores food. Golgi complex is present inside the cavity. Eye spot is red in color. This eye spot is helpful for the Chlamydomonas to travel in the dark places. So that's what eye spot is present. Vacuole is present. Vacuole means it's a space filled with liquid. Now see the two tail-like structure that is called flagella. The anterior part of the cell has two flagella. Why the flagella is present? It helps in locomotion. Locomotion means to move from one place to another place. The vacuoles are present at the base of each flagellum. In singular, it is called flagellum. In plural, flagella. Okay. Then, Chlamydomonas exhibit sexual and asexual modes of reproduction. So, when you see about the reproduction, it has two modes, sexual mode and asexual mode. Sexual mode means it needs male and female gametes. But in asexual, A refers absence of sex gametes. So it doesn't need male and female gametes. Asexual modes of reproduction means by fission or by sporulation. Many methods are there. So likewise here both the modes of reproduction, sexual and asexual modes of reproduction takes place in Chlamydomonas. Have you understood about Chlamydomonas? And see here, the anterior part bears two flagella, helps in locomotion. Then the anterior means the front part. The anterior side of the chloroplast contains tiny red colored eye spot to travel from one place to other place in the dark area. Then I told about the reproduction of sexual and asexual modes of reproduction. Have you understood clearly? Then next we are going to see about protozoa. Protozoa. In Greek, protos means first, zoon means animal. So it's the first animal. A protozoan is a single celled unicellular eukaryote. So nucleus is present. Nucleus is well developed. Comes under the kingdom Protista. So each organism comes under one kingdom. So here this protozoa comes under the kingdom Protista. Then the study of protozoa is called protozoology. What is the study of protozoa? The study of protozoa is called protozoology. So where it is found? It is found in ponds, ocean, in moist soil, and in the cells and tissues of plants and animals. They range from 2 to 200 microns. The size varies from 2 to 200 microns. So micron, if it is in microns, we are unable to see. It's a very very small tiny organism. We are able to see under the microscope only. Protozoans have specialized organs. Why these specialized organs are developed there means for the movement or for feeding and for other functions also. What is that specialized organ means? For example, we can say pseudopodia. When you learnt about amoeba in lower classes, you have learnt about pseudopodia. Have you remembered that? Now I will explain. Before that, we will see about the types of protozoans. What are the types of protozoans means? Ciliates, flagellates, pseudopods and sporozoans. Ciliates means presence of cilia for locomotion, for moving from one place to another. Cilia is present. If cilia is present, like hair-like structure, that is called cilia. If cilia is present, that comes under the group ciliates. The example is paramecium. Example is paramecium. Flagellates means flagella is present. Example for flagellates is euglena. Euglena means long tail-like structure. No, that is called flagella. You see in the Chlamydomonas also now that is called flagella. So here example is given as euglena. And next pseudopods. Pseudopods we see in amoeba. So pseudopodia means false feet. That I'll explain next in the next slide. This is also for locomotion. Then next we are going to see about sporozoans. Sporozoans example is parasites. What are called parasites? An organism that lives in another organism to get its food. That is called parasites. Like example tapeworm, some other worms and all. It depends on other living organisms for the food. So it attached with other organism and absorbs its food. That is called parasites. For example, plasmodium. Plasmodium. Now see this picture. Examples I told no. Paramecium, euglena, plasmodium. See in this paramecium cilia, hair-like structure is present that is called cilia. So it comes under ciliates. Euglena, flagella is present. So it comes under flagellates. Plasmodium, it is a parasite. It attached with other organism. So these are the examples for the protozoans. Now, under this protozoan group, we are going to see about amoeba in detail. Now, see here, this amoeba is a protozoa. Amoeba is unicellular. It has only one cell. Unicellular means automatically it is microscopic organism. You can see in ponds. You can found amoeba. You can find amoeba in ponds. It has cell membrane, cytoplasm, and nucleus. Inside each cell, if it is a single cell also, one cell contains cytoplasm and nucleus. So here it is a unicellular, so that cell contains cell membrane. The outer layer is cell membrane, then inside nucleus is present, the outer portion is cytoplasm. So It has cytoplasm and nucleus. Then protozoan moves with the help of this amoeba moves with the help of pseudopodia. Pseudopodia means pseudo means false. Podia means feet. So pseudopodia means false feet. So why this pseudopodia is present? What is pseudopodia means? Pseudopodia means it is the extended part of cell membrane. Pseudopodia are the extended part of cell membrane. See that amoeba. See any it it goes near the food means it is near the food immediately it extends its body. It extends its cell. Body means it has only one cell, no? So it extends its cell membrane to catch its prey. Prey means food. To catch its prey. It surrounds the food. So the body flows around the food particle and engulfs it. Engulf means it surrounds it. It swallows. That is, it surrounds it, forming food vacuole. That space containing food, so that it is called food vacuole. The extended part is there, no? That part, extended part is like a feet, so it is called pseudopodia. It's a false wheat. That time only it extended it a cell membrane to catch the prey, so that it is known as false feet. Then contracted vacuoles are seen in the cytoplasm. The vacuoles are helpful for the excretion, to remove the waste thing from the cell. So these vacuoles are helpful to remove waste materials. Then amoeba's reproduction means amoeba reproduces by means of fission and sporulation. Fission method means division, dividing. One amoeba divides into two. Like that, it reproduces. Fission. Sporulation means by spores method. Spore. It's like a very small, tiny particle. Like that, it forms into another amoeba. It divides it. But it bursts into small, small pieces. That is like spores. So that is sporulation method. So amoeba can reproduce by fission or sporulation. So this is about amoeba. Have you understood about amoeba? Now see the picture of the amoeba. See here, amoeba is a single cell. So cytoplasm and nucleus is present. See the nucleus is at the center. Food vacuole is present. Then the outer membrane is plasma membrane or cell membrane. Contractile vacuole to remove the waste materials. The contractile vacuole is present. Pseudopod, see the extended part, it is irregular in shape. Amoeba is irregular in shape. So now and then it changes its shape. So it is irregular in shape. Whenever it wants food means, then immediately it swallows the food. It engulfs the food particle. So it surrounds the food particles with the help of the pseudopods. So the extended part is called pseudopodia. Have you understood about amoeba? Now, the next we are going to see about prions. So, what is prion? The word prion is derived from the words proteinaceous infectious particle. Proteinaceous infectious particle. Prions have neither DNA nor RNA. What is that meaning? It has no DNA, it has no RNA. No DNA, no RNA. DNA also is not present, RNA also is not present. If DNA or RNA is present, then only it will transmit infection. But here no DNA, no RNA. So it doesn't transmit infection through DNA or RNA. But it causes diseases. Prions cause diseases means how it causes disease? By affecting brain or neural tissue. Neural tissue means nervous system. It will affect neural nervous system or brain. Example for these diseases means Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease. Another disease is Kuru. It is associated with cannibalism. Now, the first disease I told on the Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease is otherwise known as CJD. In short, we can call it as CJD. Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease. It affects the brain. Then another example is Kuru. It is also affecting. It's also affect brain. It's associated with cannibalism. What is the meaning of cannibalism? Means human being will eat another human being. This type of disease, if the brain is affected for them, then they will eat, the human will eat other humans. So this Kuru disease is associated with this cannibalism. If the brain is affected means, then the human beings doesn't know that we should not eat other human beings, so that they will eat other human beings. So that type of disease only, this Kuru. Okay. Have you understood about prions? Now see the picture of the structure of prion. So it has no DNA, no RNA, no. So the structure is given like this. Okay. The next one, it contains only protein. The next we are going to see about virion. Virions. Virion means it is an entire virus particle. It consists of outer shell called capsid and an inner core of nucleic acid. If the virus is found outside the cell, it is known as virion. So already we have learnt about virus. Now the virus is attached with any other cell means that the whole entire particle, virus is found outside the cell, no? That entire particle is known as virion. Virion has the capacity to infect the living tissue. Virion only cause diseases to others. Now see the structure of the virion. See inside nucleic acid. It contains DNA or RNA. But prions doesn't have DNA or RNA. But virion contains DNA or RNA. Now see here the red color, the middle red color thing is given, no? That is nucleic acid, DNA or RNA. Then the outer lipid envelope is given, protein capsid, the blue color hexagon thing is given, no? Six sides shape hexagon, that is protein capsid. Then spike like projections. So this is the structure of virion. Have you understood today's class, children? So in today's class we have seen about some microorganisms like fungi, algae, protozoa, then prions and virions. Hope you have understood well. Listen the video, do the homework, learn well. All the best. Thank you, dear children.